You know, with the digital camera, taking a picture is just the beginning of a whole process. At some point, you have to get the pictures out of the camera into your computer, upload it to your online service, wherever you want them to go. Usually that involves wires, and we all know wires are not a photographer's best friend. Well, a small company called eyefi has developed a Wi-Fi enabled SD card that you can just plug into any SD compatible camera and turn it into a Wi-Fi node able to upload the pictures wherever you'd like them to go. Lexar now has partnered with eyefi to distribute the product across the world. I'm here with Jeff Cable, the Director of Marketing for Lexar, and he's going to tell us about the product. So Jeff, what does Lexar bring to the party here, and what can you tell us about the product?
Well, I mean, eyefi is doing a great job with the product itself, and we were incredibly impressed, as has been the press and everybody else, with what they've done. What they don't have is they don't have the distribution capabilities. And of course, Lexar, being the big company and the name, the brand name that people know and trust in memory cards, we have a huge distribution network, whether it's at the large mass retailers or the photo channel. And so we can now bring that to this product and bring this product out to worldwide.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about how the product works. You're set up with it in a camera here. I think it's a Kodak EasyShare point-and-shoot camera. Right. And let's just step through how it works.
It's very simple. The first thing you do is you take the card, you put it into a reader, you put it in your computer. And it says, okay, let's go ahead and set it up. And you install the software, which is a very small piece of software. It asks you, okay, which wireless network do you want to connect to? So typically you're going to connect to your home network. You're going to do that. It's going to go out. It'll say, fine, I've connected to that network. If you have a password, like a web key on it, you can enter that as well. Next thing it asks you is, okay, now do you want to connect to an online service? You can do that if you want to. Whether it could be one of 20 some odd different services. It could be Flickr, it could be Kodak Gallery, whatever you want. And then it says, okay, take the card out of the reader, put it in your camera, take a picture, and then it knows what kind of camera you're using, and even gives you some hints on how to turn the camera settings to make the battery last longer so that it can upload and check to see if there's any images without it going to sleep first. It's incredibly simple to set up, which is good because this is designed for the end user, not the professional photographer, but really kind of your consumer photographer who's scared of taking cards out of cameras and putting it in a reader.
Great. And so the idea is you could be at the birthday party or something, you're taking pictures, and even while you're shooting, you'll be uploading pictures to the server online so grandma can see them. It'll actually, in fact, you showed us earlier that you could actually have it automatically download from the service back to a picture frame, somewhere across the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, when we were doing the brochure for this, I had my wife taking a picture of my daughter in the backyard, and I said, just hold this camera here, and I was behind her with my SLR taking photos. And I thought she was just going to stand there holding the camera, but I didn't know it. She was actually shooting pictures. I went back to my computer room in the house and started downloading my own images, and there on the screen was 5 or 10 pictures of my daughter that my wife had transmitted from the backyard. So whether it's right there on the spot, or you might go on vacation, you go to Hawaii for a week and come back, turn your camera on, and all of a sudden it just starts uploading all the images to your computer and your service if you want to.
So that's an important point. You don't have to be near a network for to be using the camera normally. It's an ordinary or normal 2 gigabyte card, which is quite a bit of storage, especially for a consumer camera. Right. So you can shoot pictures all day long, and then when you get back home and it finds the network again, it starts uploading at that point.
Yeah, it's really intelligent. The card itself looks to see if it's at the home network that you've set up, and if it is, it just starts transferring. So if you're there and you're shooting like we were today, it's immediate. And if you're off-site, you shoot for as long as you want. It could be a week, 2, whatever. Come home, turn it on, and there they go.
So, but you do need to pair it to a particular network. You can't just sort of be out floating around and it'll find some random network and connect and upload, which I guess you wouldn't want anyway. You don't necessarily want your pictures floating around in the ether where you don't understand.
Question we get a lot. No, I mean, again, in the initial setup, you tell it which wireless network you're connecting to. So in the case of my home, I set up to my home network, and then it's basically a one-to-one situation where it's paired to that network at that point. And anytime it's within range of that network, it'll do the transfer.
Right. I can see this be useful for event photographers too that have an SD camera. They could bring a router with them, set it up, and then the laptop in the corner could be showing pictures. If you're a wedding or something like that, it could be showing pictures coming up on the screen as they're being shot.
Yeah, I've actually thought about it. I shoot a lot of events myself, and a lot of times what I do is I shoot hundreds of images, and then I project the images or put them on my computer. And I thought, God, it'd be kind of nice to be able to walk around and shoot and just have them wirelessly transmit. And I know you can do that with some of the cameras, the SLRs, but it's like an $800 option. Here it's a $100 card, and it's got the 2 gigabytes of memory. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool solution.
Very affordable. Well, let's take a look at how it works. You've got it set up on we have a laptop set up with software here. We've got the camera shooting and with the card loaded. I guess just go ahead and show us the
So
demo.
basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of you guys here, and there we go. And the nice thing is I don't have to take a card out. I don't have to put anything in a reader. I don't have to connect cables to the camera. The camera's just anywhere within range of my router, which in this case could be, in the room next door or whatever I want. And then as you can tell here, it's going to download the image not only to the computer in the folder we've told it to go to, but also to, in this case, the Kodak gallery, which is where we told it we wanted to go. And then I've got a digital picture frame behind me, and that one's wireless. And so that's also checking the Kodak gallery. So it's going to go from the camera to this computer, out to the internet, and then end up on the frame, all within, well, on the frame, depends how often it checks the network, but it's here immediately.
Well, that really looks pretty slick, Jeff. As we were talking earlier, we could actually be using this in our own lab to get images from the camera on the camera stand over to the computer where we can check the fine exposure. I can see this being used for a lot of things. So when can people look for this in the stores, and what's the price point again on it?
Should be around $99, maybe a little bit less, and should be available in May.
All right. Well, in May, look for the wire-free Lexar SD card at a store near you. Thanks, Jeff.
Sure.